Hello, I welcome you all to this wonderful lesson where we are going to talk about extraction of iron using exam questions. These are questions that will help you in understanding this topic. So even as we get to start, make sure that you like the video, make sure that you subscribe to this channel or page, you follow me. So the first question that we are going to start with is telling us to say, explain the extraction of iron. How then do we get to explain the extraction of iron? So for iron to be extracted, what you need to know that iron is extracted from its ore called hematite. So it is extracted from hematite by a process called reduction method. So this is a method that is used to extract iron. So for iron to be extracted, we get to use this method called the reduction method. So this is the major ore for what? For iron. So when I say this is a major ore, what you need to understand this word, maybe there is someone who doesn't know what this means when we say this is an ore for iron. So the hematite here is an ore for iron, meaning that hematite is a compound from which iron is extracted. In jello, when we say this is an ore, what we get to mean is that an ore is a compound from which a metal is extracted. So for us to know and understand this, I'm going to learn you through certain steps that you need to follow for you to extract iron. There are certain things that you need to know. So to extract iron, three substances called charge or raw materials are mixed together. These are what we get to talk of iron ore, which is hematite. We get to talk of limestone, which is the calcium carbonate. So limestone, and we get to have the what? The coke. This is what you need to understand. So these three raw materials are put on top of the blast furnace. So when they are put on top of the blast furnace, what you need to understand is that chemical reactions will start taking place. So when chemical reactions start taking place, the first reaction that we are going to have, so there are just 5 steps that you need to know and understand whenever we are talking about extraction of iron. The first reaction that will happen is that the coke is going to react with the oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So it's going to react with oxygen to form what? So to form carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is going to be produced. This reaction is called an oxidation reaction. So the first reaction that takes place is called an oxidation reaction because there is addition of oxygen to a substance which was carbon. This is the first reaction that you need to understand. So the reaction raises the temperature in the blast furnace. Then the oxygen is forced into the bottom of the blast furnace. So it is going to be forced into the bottom of the blast furnace. And the second reaction, or these are steps. So when you are explaining this, you get to explain these in steps. So I'm just giving you certain formats that you're supposed to follow. The first one, you explain this reaction. This is the first reaction. So when this reaction has taken place, we also have carbon dioxide rising up and reacts with more coke to form carbon monoxide. So have you seen, we've got carbon dioxide that is going to react with more coke. This carbon dioxide that was produced is going to react with more coke. So it is going to react with more coke. Then we are going to form what? Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is going to be formed. Have you seen? Carbon monoxide is what? Is then formed. So now, this one that we had to react with, the coke here, which is the carbon, is a reducing agent because it is reducing carbon dioxide to carbon monoxide. This is what you need to understand. So even as we get to revise through certain questions, this is what you are going to see. That why is this one a reducing reagent? Because it is reducing carbon dioxide to carbon monoxide. Then after you explain this, the other reaction that you need to understand, so we are just building up from somewhere. The carbon monoxide that was produced here is going to react with the iron oxide to form a liquid iron and carbon dioxide. This is what you are going to understand. So this one that is here, the hematite, is called iron oxide. So that iron oxide, so it is like this. So I'm going to do this. So it is what? Iron 3 oxide. So it is going to react with this one that was produced here. So it is going to react with the carbon monoxide. So when it reacts with carbon monoxide, what is going to happen is that there is going to be iron that is going to be produced plus carbon dioxide. So iron is going to be produced plus what? Carbon dioxide. These, I'm just writing these equations. I'm not balancing them. I'm just explaining. These are not balanced chemical equations. I'm just explaining, showing you how things are happening. So this is step number 3 that you need to know and understand. So this one is acting as a reducing agent, the carbon monoxide here. Why is carbon monoxide acting as a reducing reagent in the extraction of iron? Because it is able to reduce this one here. It is able to reduce what? It is reducing iron oxide to iron. It is reducing iron here, which is having an oxide there, to what? To iron. This is what you need to understand. So from here, we've extracted what? We've extracted the iron that we wanted. But we are not only going to end here. The other thing that you are supposed to know and understand is that the iron here, the iron that we've produced here, goes to the bottom of the blast furnace where it is tapped off. So when it goes down there, we first talked about the limestone. So the limestone then is going to decompose to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This is the fourth reaction. Calcium carbonate is going to decompose to form calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. This is what is going to happen. So when this reacts with, when this decompose and form this, then our key interest, we now understand that the purpose of limestone is to act as a flux. This is the purpose of the limestone, is to act as a what? As a flux. So that we can get what? We can get this one that is here, the calcium oxide, which is then going to react with silicon dioxide, which is sand, to form calcium silicate or a slag. So the last reaction that we get to form is where now the calcium oxide reacts with the silicon dioxide. This is what gets to happen. So when it reacts with silicon dioxide, what is formed is calcium silicate. So what is formed is calcium what? Calcium silicate, like this. This is what is formed. Calcium silicate, which is a slag here. This one is being formed. So these are the 5 reactions that you need to understand. So when calcium oxide reacts with silicon dioxide, which is sand, what we get to form? We get to form calcium silicate or a slag. This is a slag that is formed. So the slag will lands down to the furnace and floats on the iron. So it will go down and floats on this iron that was produced. It is going to float on that iron. And the main purpose is to prevent the molten iron from being oxidized by the incoming oxygen. So that's why the slag is tapped off. This is what you need to know and understand. Hope you are able to understand. And a question can come that maybe why is calcium oxide used for? So calcium oxide is used to remove impurities such as silicon dioxide. This is the whole purpose of calcium oxide. So this is the extraction of iron that you need to know. This is the extraction of iron that you need to understand. So let us now go to question number 2. So when you are taught to explain the extraction of iron, these are the chemical equations that you need to know and understand. So the first one was oxidation. This one is a reduction. We are removing oxygen from there by this reducing agent. So we can say this is a reduction reaction. So you just explain these, you write them in a paragraph form. So I just gave you these chemical equations that get to happen in the extraction of iron. So we are done with this. Let us move now to the next question. This is question 2 that we have. Question 2 is saying, why is coke and carbon monoxide used as reducing agents? So what's the purpose, or why is it that coke and carbon monoxide are used as reducing agent? Just from explaining this, I think you are able to agree with me. The coke, the reason why it is used as a reducing agent is that, so I'll start with the coke. The reason why it is used as a reducing agent, because it reduces, this one is going to reduce carbon dioxide to carbon monoxide. This is the reason why it is used as a reducing agent. And the reason why carbon monoxide is used as a reducing agent, it is because it reduces, it is going to reduce the iron oxide. So the iron oxide that we are talking about, it can be hematite or magmatite. So if it is magmatite, meaning that it is going to reduce the iron tetraoxide to iron. If it is hematite, it is going to reduce it to what? From iron 3 oxide to iron. So it reduces an iron oxide to what? To iron. So when I say iron oxide, I'm not only talking about hematite. So this is the reason why these two are used as reducing agents. This one, coke, is going to reduce carbon dioxide to carbon monoxide. But carbon monoxide is also a reducing agent, which is then going to reduce calcium iron oxide to iron. So iron oxide can be iron 3 oxide, it can be tri-iron tetraoxide. But what you need to know is that iron that is reacting with the oxygen. This is what you need to know and understand on this particular question. So the other questions that you can find in an exam, let me just explain these with you. So hope you are very attentive. Just want to revise with you some questions that I earlier discussed on. So question 3 is saying, what is the use of calcium oxide after decomposing calcium carbonate to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide? So the whole purpose of the calcium oxide is to be used as to remove impurities such as silicon dioxide. So calcium oxide is just used to remove impurities such as silicon dioxide. This is what you need to understand. I've got question 4 with me saying, what's the law of the slag and what does it prevent? So in my explanation, I told you that calcium oxide reacts with silicon dioxide, which is sand, to form calcium silicate or a slag. This is what I'm just from explaining. The slag, so the law of the slag is to float on the iron. It is going to float on the iron. Why is it floating on the iron? So that it can prevent the molten iron from being oxidized by the incoming oxygen. This is what you need to know and understand. So these are questions that can come in an exam under extraction of iron. So we are going to end here. We end here. And if there is someone that wants tuition, I'm here to help you. This is my number. you can contact me on this number. I'm an academic tutor, so make sure that even as you are contacting me, you are very serious. I've got people that contact me for questions. I've got this question. I've told you I'm an academic tutor. When you are texting me on this number, it means that you want to join me. Thank you so much.